What's up, everybody, and thank you for listening to Mastering the Mindset. My name is Dariusdotch, and I'm an actor, hip-hop artist, and fitness and life coach. And I'm here to personally help you train and improve your mindset so that you can, 1, become the best version of yourself mentally, and 2, gain focus and motivation to be able to take action and achieve the success in life that you want and deserve. Before we get started, please like and subscribe to my channel, and at the end of this episode, if you liked it, please share it with a friend or loved one or someone who would benefit from hearing this message. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm ready to go on this journey with you, and that journey begins now. All right, and welcome back to another episode. So today we're about to get real today. Today we're going to be talking about the life you have, the one life that you get. And to start off this episode, I want to ask you a question. Have you been living your life as if you get another one? Think about that for a second. Have you been living your life as if this ain't the actual game? It's just an exhibition game. Like this just a preseason game. And a lot of us out here are living our lives like we're really going to get another shot at it. Like it's just practice. And so I really want you to ask yourself this question. Have you been living your life as if you get another one? And I'm not talking about reincarnation and if you believe you'll be back in another way or another form. I mean, are you living as if it's okay to not be doing those things you should be doing? As if you get another chance. And right now, what's coming up in my head is something I heard Neil deGrasse Tyson say. He was having a conversation with Larry King when Larry King was still alive. And the question came up if you would ever want to live forever. And Neil deGrasse Tyson says, no. I wouldn't want to live forever. And his reason is exactly what we all need to hear. He said, if you always have tomorrow, it puts no urgency on today. What gives you motivation to work, to get up, to create something, to become better is the fact that there is a pending death that gets you closer as each day goes by. And the fact is, I don't know what mine is going to be. You don't know when yours is going to be. And we can look at death in two ways. Yes, we can sit here and take the morbid route and get sad about the fact that death is coming. Maybe somebody might be really afraid of death and wants to avoid it. Maybe even avoid talking about it. Or we can say, hey, this is gonna eventually happen. So instead of being afraid of it, maybe I could use it. The fact that I'm getting closer and closer to this expiration date every day, maybe I can use it as a motivator to have me get my ass up and try and make the most out of my life. Because too many people are living as if tomorrow is guaranteed. Tomorrow is never guaranteed. If you found out today was your absolute last day on earth, what would you have missed out on? Think about that for a second. If you went to the doctor today and they found something that said, I'm sorry, but you're not going to make it through the night, what would you have missed out on? What chances didn't you take? What places didn't you travel to? What things didn't you say to people? What were you not able to give your loved ones that you wish you would have? What would it be that you didn't do? How could you have done something different? And we're not dying right now, right? Well, I hope we're not dying today. And since we're not, why aren't we doing the things that we would have done? Answer this question. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the absolute best life you could ever imagine, and 1 being the worst, what would you rate your life in terms of how much you've gotten out of it until this point today? Think about that for a second. What would it be? Have you taken all the risks? Have you done all the things? Have you had all the fun? Have you traveled to all the places? Or have you lived your life in fear some way? Have you worried too much about what other people think about you? Have you thought too much about other people's opinions and let it keep you from going after your dreams? Have you worried too much? So what would that number be? And let's say it's a 6.5. Not the worst, but not the best. How do we get to a 9? A 9 would be a great life. 10 is probably impossible or highly unlikely if we're talking about that extreme life you can only imagine. But a 9 is great. We would love a 9. So how do we get to that 9? And you take out your pen and pad and you write these things down. What are the things that you could do? The things that you haven't done. Also, the things you have done that you want to do more of. Write those things down. What would those things be that will take your life from a 6.5 to that 9. And make this list. And just like that, you now have a plan of what you need to do to get a better life. To live a life as if you're not going to get another one. And don't look at this like it's a checklist, because you cross checklists off and move on to the next thing and never come back to it. There should be things on this list that you should definitely come back to, that should definitely be a reoccurring thing. And you have this plan, you start doing these things on this list. You have to make the life you want, because time don't stop. We know this. Time is ticking, and you'll never get that time you lost back. All those years you spent telling yourself that you were going to do that thing, and you know what that thing is. We all have it, probably more than one thing, and we keep pushing the date back. This mental date of feeling like this is the right time to do it. And we end up pushing it further and further down the road, and it still ain't happened yet. What's up, what's up, what's up? I want to take a quick moment to say thank you so much for listening to this episode, and to also let you know that this podcast is 100% donation driven, which means it's completely funded by you, the listener. So if you like the content I have to offer, I would love it if you can make a donation and you get to pick the amount. I left links in the description of the video as well as my homepage. You can choose which way benefits you the best to donate. And if you need more options, please feel free to email me at dariusdotch@gmail.com. That's dariusdotch@gmail.com. Again, thank you so much for being here, and let's get back to it. We won't get that time back. And there's this book I talked about on here in another episode, and it talks about the regrets people have on their deathbeds. And they interview people who are on their deathbed, and they ask them, what are the things they regret in life? And the number one answer was, I wish I lived a life that was true to myself and not the life that others expected of me. We can't get to the end of life and wish things would have been different. We can't be the person who gets to the end and realizes that, damn, I didn't do what I wanted to do. I did what other people wanted me to do, or what society wanted me to do. Or be the person who feels like they didn't get the life they wanted because they never started that thing. They never did what they wanted to do, either out of fear or just putting it off into tomorrow, next week, next year. And another thing about fear, we all have fears. We can be afraid of rejection, afraid of people's opinions. We can be afraid of being bad parents, afraid of failure, afraid of success, afraid of death, afraid of having a spotlight, afraid of losing financial security. All of these fears are common. All of these fears can be worked on. All of these fears are valid. We have these. But the thing we should fear the most is getting to our deathbeds and realizing we didn't live a life that we truly wanted, that we didn't do the things that will make us live the best life possible. Now, I don't know about you, but that's my biggest fear, that I get to the end and I realize I didn't squeeze as much out of life as I could have, and I stayed the same, in the same spot, stayed the same person, kept the same excuses, let the same things hold me back. This fear should trump all the other ones for you. Now realize this, you're not dying today. You do have more time. Let's say you have years and years and years left on this earth, and I pray you do. So great. What if you took, let's say, the next 365 days and you focused on ways to improve yourself? To focus on how you can get from that 6.5 to a 9. And you make that decision to work on those things. You say, you know what? I'm going to work on my mindset. I'm going to work on my relationships. I'm going to work on my body. I'm going to focus on being happy, on my goals. I'm going to kill my goals. I'm going to take the next 365 days and make it the best you ever had. Think about if you really made that your focus. There's no way possible that if you made it your focus, your plan, your goal to make the next year be better than last year, if you honestly wake up every day and you work at it and you have a plan and you make that your focus for the next 365 days, there's no way that it won't be better than last year. There's no way your mindset won't be in a better place. So please, please, please don't put this off like that other thing. Pick that thing back up. Look at that list. How can you start completing those things on that list? How can you max out your life? So that's what I got for you today. If you like this episode, please share it with somebody that can benefit from this, somebody who is a friend or a family member, somebody who has goals and is trying to improve their lives. So thank you again, and let's get it in.